This is a zero cycle, a newer strategy speedrunners adopted to kill the dragon without having to wait for it to perch in the center fountain of the end. Using this strategy, end fight times can be around 1 minute long and totally consistent. But there is just one issue. This strategy is hard. The Speedrunning Tournament Ranked Playoff showcases the 16 best speedrunners in the world, and these players also mess this up.
It's gonna fly for Retropod 2! It's gonna fly for Retropod 2! He didn't go back.
This leads to players being locked into what is known as a perch race, where it is entirely random who wins, and could even take up to 3 minutes. This is where Zyme steps in, a technical Minecraft player who created this strategy which allows you to recover from a failed zero cycle, only adding around 40 seconds to your end split, and can be completed with 5 explosives. He's who I'll be working with throughout this video to explain the strategy to you. Fundamentally, zero cycles work by the dragon flying to one of 4 nodes: front diagonal, back diagonal, front straight, and back straight. The straight node happens 1/8 of the time, hence adopting the name 1 in 8, which is what I will call it throughout this video. Once the dragon flies from its zero tower, it randomly picks from nodes around the island to fly to, and eventually decides to perch. But there is a different dragon behavior that we can trigger. By breaking the crystals on towers, the dragon is forced to search for you and shoot you with dragon's breath. As the player, we can manipulate this to help us. If we hide ourselves from the dragon, it will head to the node closest to where the player broke the crystal. At this point, the dragon will circle this node until it reaches the peak of it, and then it targets you, fireballs you, and flies away. But if we can show ourselves again to the dragon, it will still want to shoot us with the breath, and once the dragon fireballs, it will start targeting the node that it's closest to, that being the node that you're stood at. Now that we understand these mechanics, I'm going to show me doing this strategy in slow motion and explain what I'm doing at each step. I'm starting by building up to the usual zero position. For this example, I'm just jumping down, but this is useful in any situation where the dragon flies, you're late to the zero as your spawn is buried, or any other scenario in which you will mess up the zero. Then, you pearl to the 1 in 8 tower and wait for the dragon to fully fly away. While this happens, I would like to point out that even if you don't have a pre-built zero setup, you are under no time pressure during this whole setup. Once the dragon is flown, we can then throw a pearl from the 1 in 8 tower to the diagonal tower, and quickly block ourselves in so the dragon cannot see us. The reasoning for doing this is because the enderpearl projectile triggers the crystal's explosion before the game triggers our teleport, which is also the reason why you don't take any of the damage from the crystal. The dragon then visits the node of the 1 in 8 tower to search for you in order to fireball you. Something to note here is that, as previously mentioned, once the dragon reaches the peak of the 1 in 8 node, it will shoot us and fly away. So before it does that, we need to make ourselves visible to it, so it shoots us with the fireball. Once it shoots us, we can then return to our zero setup if pre-built, or quickly build it as the dragon flies over, and then zero cycle our dragon, or I suppose 1 cycle it. In this video I 4+ to it, but this can be as many beds as you need. Given you do that all correctly, you should be left with an end split of 1 minute 40, much faster than a ranked 3 minute max perch, and with much less materials and setup than are needed for ground zero. In terms of alternate conditions, this can definitely be finicky. Since you're having the dragon fly to the top of the 1 in 8 node before triggering the fireball, it is best off when the 1 in 8 tower is taller than the diagonal one. If you're building your zero setup at standing 99, this will not work when the 1 in 8 is too short. Additionally, if you trigger the fireball when the dragon is circling too close to the node of the unintended tower, it will pick that one to circle. You can actually complete the zero on this tower, it's just not the conventional coordinates. You can actually trigger the same effect on the opposite side of the island from the intended zero spot, if you so wish. In a case where the diagonal zero is caged, it is much more difficult to hit the crystal while standing on the 1 in 8 tower, so use a different setup that I'm going to show you here. This is conceptually very similar to the original setup. You are pre-building an area to hide in, and then breaking the 1 in 8 crystal and pearling back to the diagonal tower. This is best used when the dragon flies. The dragon is now circling up the 1 in 8 node like it does on the original setup. I then have it shoot me, and then it visits my node so I can complete the zero cycle. I just want to reiterate a big thank you to Zyme for coming up with this strategy and being kind enough to not only explain it to me, but allow me to create this video to show off publicly. If you have any queries, you can put them in the comments and me or Zyme will try our hardest to answer them. And if you want to get more into speedrunning, please join my speedrunning Discord. It's named The Bridge and the link will be in the description. Thank you for watching and hopefully more speedrunning content to come.